Yo, what it is, what it do, what it is, what it do. DJ RJ Boston in the building. I hope y'all good. Check my levels. Sounds nice. Hope y'all can hear me. Hope y'all can hear me out there. This is the Pree Talk. Just want to give y'all a little talk. Man, excuse me, y'all. Let me get myself together here. As I was saying, put together a little talk for the people so we can discuss things like music, entertainment, tech, news, things like that. That's what we're doing this for. The Pree Talk. Pree Talk is the show that we do before Reggae Sundays. Reggae Sundays is my radio show I do every single Sunday, 4 to 6 p.m. sometimes, Eastern Standard Time. Wherever you at, do the math. I can't do it for you, but sometimes I wish I could. And it's a reggae show we do every single Sunday, man, playing the best music that you ever heard on a Sunday. Specifically reggae, bringing you that home feel, that relax, I got to get things done kind of feel. That's what we're doing with Reggae Sundays. So tune in, keep it locked right there. I hope y'all enjoying the music. Besides that, we're doing the Pree Talk. Let me add the link for y'all in a little bit. But besides that, we're doing the Pree Talk. Gal me a pre. You already know. I appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. Shout out to the people already tuned in. Please hit that like button on YouTube. I appreciate that. Need that. Let's get up in that algorithm. Send a comment. Let me know who's listening. The comments is what helps the most right now in the algorithm, so let's get that in there. Oof, pause that. And of course, today we're going to talk about some brand new music, brand new entertainment news, things that I've been seeing throughout the week, since last week. And that's pretty much what we're doing here. A way to just get the people to talk. When I'm DJing at 4, I really can't talk to the people. It's an issue sometimes, and I want to make sure that I can reach out to the people, get a little bit more intimate with the viewers. The music is great. We're going to keep that going. But there's nothing wrong with a good conversation, you know? So new in the news, we got a few things, not too many things, a couple things here. Your boy Pharrell teamed up with Adidas, created his jellyfish shoe. He got named Shoe of the Year. Shoe of the Year. That's amazing. At the Footwear News Achievement Awards, it was announced on Monday, November 10th, in recognition of his bold and boundary-pushing Virginia Eddie Star Jellyfish collaboration with Adidas. Virginia Eddie Star Jellyfish. That is a crazy name. Oh, snap. You say that out loud, it says Vag. Okay, VAJ. Virginia Eddie Star Jellyfish. The Vag shoe. Oh, man, I don't know if I can wear that shoe for real. Let's see what that shoe look like. That's wild. Mm-mm-mm. Pree Talk. So Pharrell's partnership with Adidas continues to redefine what creative collaboration in footwear can look like, said Michael Atmore. That's interesting. I remember Pharrell having a shoe, having an Adidas deal, but it's been a while since I've heard about somebody wearing his shoe. That's crazy. But now they got a footwear awards just for the shoe. That's crazy. And he got shoe of the year, or he'll receive shoe of the year. Wow, that's crazy. I didn't even know that was a thing. What's up with Jordan? I guess Jordan needs some new designs. They're doing all the retros. Everything's retro. They need some new shit, man. They need some new shit. I think so. Footwear News Achievement Awards, FNAAs, announced this. I don't know if y'all heard of that, man. Y'all heard of that? I ain't never heard of that. And this is this year. That's crazy. They're gonna honor Tommy Hilfiger. Oh, we know about him. We know about Tommy. Lifetime Achievement Award. Okay. From what I remember, Tommy didn't like us too much, so I don't know about that. But hey, man, shout out to him for getting it in, getting the work done. He convinced us for a long time that he was with us, and then we found out otherwise. All right, Tommy Hilfiger, go get your Lifetime Achievement Award from the FNAAs. FNAAs. Coco Gauff is going to receive Style Influencer of the Year, and Ronnie Feig as Person of the Year. All happening at the FNAAs. That's wild. Who else I got? Jordan Brand. Oh, there we go. I'm over here talking shit, and Jordan is actually getting something done. Jordan Brand, New Balance, and Mew, or Mew, I don't even know. MIU, Mew, and Nordstrom, Retailer of the Year. Of course, Nordstrom is surviving the times. They're still out here. Stores open. They survived COVID. Wow. Okay, so Pharrell's also working with Louis Vuitton. He got a menswear line with them. And now they say he's redefining sneaker culture with one of Adidas' most visually daring designs. Okay, Pharrell, do your thing, man. I'm not hating on that at all. Killing that game. Entertainment we could really ask for. Him and the Neptune, shout out to Chad, like I know them. Shout out to Chad and Pharrell Williams. Chad Hugo, Pharrell Williams giving us some of the best music we've ever had before, man. It's amazing. Yeah, and DJ RJ. Yeah, man. So shout out to them for doing that. I really I really appreciate Pharrell's work ethic and Neptune's work ethic. They gave us some music that stamped times, music that couldn't really be duplicated by anybody else. The Neptunes really created a sound that can tell a story throughout the years. They've been making music since the 90s. So shout out to Pharrell. If y'all didn't see that movie, oh my God, y'all should definitely see that movie. The Lego movie about Pharrell and his life and his career. Y'all should definitely see that. It's an amazing, amazing movie. It really brought me back in time, brought me to a you know, to a better place. When you listening to nostalgic music, it makes you feel great. And that's all I know. Shout out to Pharrell. New shoe of the year in the FNAAs. I can't believe it. But that's what's up though. I think Pharrell is a genius and obviously a vampire since he don't age, but he's a genius, where he's able to keep creating and doesn't seem like he can stop. I think that he's a talent that we won't see again in a long time. But shout out to him. Shout out to everybody else receiving awards at the FNAAs. It is bright out here. Shout out to everybody else, everybody else, everybody else. We got to spread the love and give them their flowers while they're here. Yeah, this dude does not age. Shoe of the year with the badges, the VAJs, the badges. That's the name of Pharrell's shoe. The Virginia Addistar Jellyfish, the badges. Crazy. Pharrell said, and I quote, I dreamed of a shoe. Should I do his voice? I dreamed of a shoe that man stop. I dreamed of a shoe that felt alive, something that moved like water, that had its own rhythm, energy, and glow. The Virginia Addistar Jellyfish. That's crazy. That is wild. I don't know. I don't think I'll be copping those. I'm gonna have to look them up and see what they really look like, but I don't think I'll be copping those. They're bad shoes. Should I? I don't know. Maybe I can buy them under the DJ RJ moniker business and then write it off as an expense. There we go. That's how you do it. Yeah, it came right up in Google. Oh my God. The
Adidas. No, the Virginia Addis Star Jellyfish. That's an interesting shoe. I see what he means by flow like water. It's kind of like a wave. I'm gonna have to bring this up. It's kind of like a wave. Can I present? I don't know if I can present on the mobile. Let me see here. I don't think I can. Maybe I can. Oh, okay, okay, okay. Can I present? Mm, nah, too bad. So sad. I don't think I can present on here. Shit. Anybody knows? Well, I'm sure there's plenty of people that know StreamYard way better than me. If you can present on the stage a file with StreamYard, you let me know. Anybody who's listening, shout out to Replay Gang. Replay Gang, let me know. If you know how to do this, let me know. Yeah, man. Shout out to Pharrell again. Neptunes, the Adidas, Jellyfish. Shoe. The Vag. He had to have known that he was making that acronym when he was creating this shoe, man. He had to have known. Like that acronym is crazy. For real. I don't know. It's cool, man. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. It's cool. Oh wow. $432. That's crazy. 432 for that. I wouldn't pay that. Hell no. 400. Oh my God. 484. 525. Yeah, these resale prices are crazy. Definitely. In other news, apparently they're making a Michael Jackson biopic, which is wild. Um, wow, it's been so many years since he died. What was that like the mid 2000s, early 2000s? When did Michael Jackson pass away? Um, when they unalived him, Michael Michael Jackson, Michael Jackson unalived him. Nah, I didn't put that. 2009. Dang, right after I got out. That's crazy. 2009. That's wild, man. Michael Jackson always going to be the king of pop. No one else will be the king of pop like Michael Jackson. He is an icon like no other. And I ain't talking about Jaden Smith. I'm talking about Michael Jackson, an icon. He's done so much with music, dance, showmanship, entertainment. It can't be matched. The closest thing we'll ever get is probably Chris Brown. That's probably the closest thing we'll ever get. Chris Brown. Usher had his run. We thought it was Usher. And then we realized there was a whole nother level. And that's CB. Shout out to Virginia again. Virginia Addis Star Jellyfish. Badge. Shout out, man. That's what we thought. We thought Usher was the end all be all when it came to Michael Jackson similarities, but nah, man. CB, say what you want. That's the one time. And, there's a lot of super incredibly geniusly musically gifted, whatever that means, talented individuals out there in the music world that have done things that made me stop listening to their music. But with Chris Brown, I don't know. Especially when the main victim that people are mad about already forgave him herself. I don't know if I could be mad since it wasn't an S8 type thing. So I don't know. I don't know how it feels, but All I know is it doesn't take away from his talent. I mean, it doesn't take away from R. Kelly's talent either. What he did it doesn't take away from the talent. But I'm not going to listen though. But CB, yeah, he's you can't take nothing away from him as far as talent. You really can't. You gotta. In that case, I'm not really separating the man from the artist. I'm saying that the talent is a part of him. You can't separate it, no matter what. So I'll always respect his talent. I can't respect what was done as far as hitting and DV, but I do know that that talent is unmatched. I don't know if he got people fainting at his shows like Michael Jackson did, but the talent is unmatched. But they got a Michael Jackson biopic coming out. A trailer came out, and apparently the trailer cracked the internet. Of course, who would have thought? 116 million views, breaking a trailer record. No trailers ever watched this many, had this many views on a online before. So it's crazy. It's just a teaser. You know, they're gonna have, of course, on stage performances, live performances, recreated performances. Most likely we're going to get a Michael Jackson lookalike. Who knows who that will be? One second, y'all. Who knows who that will be? Who knows who's going to play Michael Jackson? I don't even know who could play Michael Jackson. It's probably going to be some unnamed actor. It'll probably be some no name actor who plays Michael Jackson in this biopic. I can't imagine that they would get somebody already well known because I mean, who would do it? I remember they did a Michael Jackson biopic back in the day, or just a little segment of his life, and what was it? Flex, I think it was Flex that played Michael Jackson. That's crazy. It just. I mean, I guess if you want to say that Michael Jackson, was black, was brown skinned before, um, then you can say, oh, this is why we had Flex play him, but uh, it just didn't really match the Michael Jackson that we know and many love. But shout out to Flex. He's still a good actor. Um, but yeah, I don't know about him playing Michael Jackson, but he did his thing. He did his thing. I wonder how Flex feels about that movie. I wonder if he wants to be in the biopic as an older gentleman. He wants to be Michael at what age? 50, because he died at 51. I wonder if Flex wants to be Michael at 50. That'd be crazy. That'd be wild. I I would I would watch that movie though. But I don't know who could play Michael. I don't know. If y'all know, let me know in the comments because I don't know who could play Michael. That's wild. That's a good thing to think about though. I would love to go down that rabbit hole and just think about who would play that. I don't know who would be good. I don't know anybody current that would do that, but I don't know. Mm, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. We'll be right back. Back to the topic. We talking about Michael Jackson and who's going to play him in his new biopic. If you got any ideas, let me know. Who could play Michael Jackson in a biopic? Somebody new, somebody old. I don't know. 1 second, Joe. Because it's the pre talk, pre talk. All right, y'all. Um, don't mind me, y'all. Don't mind me. Don't mind me, y'all. My audio's acting crazy, but we're going to keep it going. So, will Michael Jackson have a good actor or not, a new actor or not, or an older actor in the biopic that he's doing or that they're doing on his life? I don't know. I don't know who will be. I don't know who would be a good choice. Shoot, Michael Jackson. Who looks like Mike? I mean, man, he'd be a little tall, but why not get Chris Brown to play Michael Jackson? Shoot, why not? Honestly, I feel like they could do makeup enough to make him look like Michael Jackson. And he's still so young, probably like early 30s, right? Mid 30s. I don't know. He's still so young. I think like Chris Brown probably could be a good option to play Michael Jackson. Why not? Who else could do it? You know, people can do the move. I don't know. They're probably gonna get a no name actor to do it. Maybe, maybe not. Who knows? Um, who knows who will get it? But that's a great thing to think about. I wonder. I should go in there and try to play Michael. Hey, no, I can't. I couldn't even try to do that voice, man. My shit would be too deep. Oh, I couldn't even do that. Um, huh, yeah, that's not what I'm thinking. Um, but it's the Pree Talk.
Yeah,
Appreciate that,
that's
brother.
not what I'm thinking.
Oh,
But it's
Echo Gang. Yeah, shout out to the Replay Gang. The Pree Talk, doing this talk um, to get y'all involved, get y'all intimately involved with DJ RJ Boston. That's my YouTube handle. Official DJ RJ on Twitch and Facebook. Follow me. That's where we at. Hit that like button, please. Please hit that like button. Let's get out in the algorithm. Let's get supercharged out here. Let's get some comments going so that I can get people out there. Once the comments get going, then YouTube puts it in the algorithm. Once we're in the algorithm, then we get that chat popping, you know? Let's keep this moving. Michael Jackson releasing a biopic. They're releasing a biopic on his life, and he's not here to see it. You know, people are, nowadays I hear trying to put out biopics for their life before they're even gone. I think that's an interesting idea. I don't know if you want to put that energy out there, but it doesn't necessarily have to be that energy. You don't have to think that you're dying to be somebody that's putting out a biopic about themselves. You know, you don't have to already be on your deathbed or already dead, or even make it about your death when you're creating a biopic about yourself. You could still just talk about your career, your life, everything you've been through, the good, the bad, and have creative control and have creative control over that. Um, I think that oh man, that bass is loud. I think that it's a it's a great idea to put out a biopic about him. Hopefully, get out this area. Hopefully he hopefully it happens. Hopefully it actually comes out. You know, Richard Pryor was supposed to have a biopic too, and that never happened. Um, so I'm wondering if this Michael Jackson biopic really will come out. I'll watch it if it does. I know that. I'm sure you'll watch it too. Oh my God. I probably should have. Oh, wow. It's going to come out on my birthday. Wow. That's wild. That's wild. Excuse me, y'all. I gotta hear this old school beeping noise while I back up in the car, y'all. Pre talk. It's the pre talk. Um, Dirt bike. It's the pre talk. Live in full effect. We in vivo, y'all. We live. Estamos en vivo. We live, y'all. So anything can happen. Who knows? Anything can happen while you live. You know, this old guy can rush me off the road and I can get knocked out, car total, or everything can just be all good. So, um, yeah. So yeah, the movie's coming out on my birthday apparently in theaters. Movies are still hitting theaters first. That's cool. In theaters, the movie's coming out April. On my birthday. And I can't wait. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm gonna have to go see that. That sounds like a happy birthday to me kind of thing, right? That sounds like happy birthday to me. We go see the Michael Jackson biopic. Um, that should be cool. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. Oh man, in the biopic we trust. Yeah, I can't wait to see that Michael Jackson. Well, I wonder what parts of the story that they'll tell. Are they going to reuse scenes or storylines from the first movie, the Jackson 5 movie? That would be interesting. You know, who's still alive to help tell this story? I don't really know. So apparently, I had to look a little deeper. Apparently, Michael Jackson's nephew, Jafar Jackson. I don't remember Jafar, man. Jafar Jackson is going to be playing the lead role as Michael Jackson. Okay, I didn't even think about that. That's kind of like having a Marley in your family. Having a Marley family and someone from their family, would be the best option to play. That's good, man. I think that's cool. They're keeping it in the family. Hopefully, the money stays in the family, and hopefully, it blows his nephew up. Get him out there, get him some recognition. That'd be what's up. Did I say that word right? Recognition. Oh Lord. But yeah, it's cool. Michael Jackson, man. I think like I said, nobody. I don't think anybody in my lifetime will blow him out of the water. Musically, I think he was something special that came for a time, and that time has passed. Man, I gotta say, CB is definitely the next runner up for for that. But he just doesn't have. But even though to me, there's some mystery to CB. He doesn't have that same mystique. No one's gonna have that same '70s, '80s, even '90s mystique. But CB kind of has some mystique. He hasn't been in the news for anything bad, really, for a while now, for years, as far as I know. If he has, let me know. But I think CB would have been a good choice. He's just so tall, but I think they could have made him up to look like Michael. I know they could have made him up to look like Michael, definitely. Um, so yeah, that movie's going to be in theaters in April, so check that out. It's going to come out on my birthday. I'm gonna check that movie out. Sorry I had to come off camera, y'all. I couldn't get the setup the way I wanted, but we still here, we still working, we still moving, giving y'all some good content, entertainment news, keeping y'all up to date on what's happening, what's popping. You know, please hit that like button, share, subscribe, whatever needs to be done to share and spread the word. I appreciate y'all so much. Replay gang, live gang. Yeah, man. I grew up on Michael. He definitely was an idol of mine back in the day. I thought he was amazing. There was nobody else that was better. There was some Prince that played in my household. My mother definitely played Prince, but she played, I would say, a lot more Michael than she played Prince. He just had way more danceable and, you know, danceable music, I would say. Prince maybe was like feel good, but Prince is more like too musical, man. He's like so musical. You know, it's like you're getting a concert when you're listening to Prince. With Michael, it's like you're getting a TV show, a movie, um, and a soundtrack all in one. You're just getting, icon. Prince is the icon too, but Michael definitely I gravitated towards him much more. Prince, I just wasn't really feeling him like that. Plus, he wore purple, and when I was a kid, you know what I thought that was. So, it's Philly in the '90s. Come on, you know what I thought that was. So yeah, I couldn't really get with Prince. And, Michael had the tight pants and all that, but shoot, people were wearing tight pants back in the '90s too. People had on tight jeans in the '90s. Tuck that into your Timbs or something. They had that. But Michael was who I looked up to. Michael Jackson was the king of pop, and nobody could tell me different when I was a kid. That's what I thought. So I'm gonna go see that movie. It's coming out in April, next April 2026. I'm gonna check that out. Y'all should check out the Michael Jackson biopic. Even if you don't like Michael Jackson, it's going to be an interesting story as far as history, even knowing some things maybe you didn't know about him. I'm sure I'll find out some things. I'm sure his family will find out some things that they didn't know about him from people telling different stories because they got to interview everybody in his life to really get a good concept and idea of what his life is about. So it's going to be real interesting to see this Michael Jackson biopic. I'm excited. And I guess next they'll do Prince. I might actually watch a Prince biopic because the stories you hear, he's just too mystical. Man. Both of them are too mystical. That's why they both were at the top and in the argument for the king. But the obvious king is Michael. Put Michael up there with Quincy, and you're out of here. You're done. R.I.P. to Quincy Jones. R.I.P. to Michael Jackson. R.I.P. Prince. Dang, all three of them gone. Wow, I can't even believe that. I wasn't even thinking about that. I did a little tribute on my page. Check out my post, my community post. I did a little tribute to Quincy Jones. Shout out to the Joneses. He definitely created a legacy. You know, Rashida Jones, Quincy Jones, Michael Jackson, Sheila E. Anybody he had his hand in. Shout out to him, man. Um, we're gonna keep it rocking now. I'm gonna keep it moving with the story a little bit. Oh, they say his legacy was or is complex. Do y'all think his legacy is complex? I would say so. The allegations, you know, the allegations, the physical changes. There was a lot going on with Michael. Skin changes, like there was a lot going on. His mental health, shoot, the mental health of the people that came to his shows. Yeah, the media, the paparazzi, like imagine what he had to go through and how that would drive you insane. I couldn't imagine. But shout out Mike, man. Iron Mike Jackson. Iron Mike Jackson. Um, yeah, so Jafar Jackson, Michael Jackson's uncle, will be playing him in the new biopic. Um, the producer of the biopic is going to be Graham King. He called Jafar a clear choice for the role after an extensive casting process. We went through everybody, and the only person we could find was his nephew. Come on, dog. You know they thought about his nephew first. There's no way in hell they didn't think about his nephew first. Who can we get? Don't Michael Jackson have a nephew? Let's get him. Shouldn't we cast other people? You know, every job has to pretend like they really want other people when they have internal candidates applying for the same job. So tell me how it's not different here. If I'm an internal candidate and I'm applying for a different position within my place of work, they're going to give me a clear shot. Whether I get the job or not, they're going to give me a shot, and I'm going to get that shot over the general public just because I work there. That's how it works. And then when you're in that hiring position, they tell you, yeah, we have to put it out at this time. Oh, we're going to give it to the internal candidates first, and then we're going to see who else is out there. Give like 2 weeks for the internals. Everybody else will get like 4 to 6 weeks. When you get behind the curtain, you start seeing what really happens. Um, so, hey, Graham said that Jafar Jackson was a clear choice for this role. So, shout out to him. Hopefully, it works for him. I really hope it works and he gets, some notoriety from this. He should. I think he should. Um, what else we got? What else we got? News. Don't forget, y'all. This is the Pree Talk. Pree Talk is my show that gives y'all a little closer look of what this channel is about. This channel is about sharing. So I'm going to keep on sharing the music every Sunday with my radio show. Shout out to Liberated Radio. Check them out as well. 24-hour live radio, liberatеdradio.com and Liberated Radio, anywhere you listen to your radio broadcast. Check out my show, Reggae Sundays. This show is here to bridge the gap. Pree Talk is bridging the gap between conversation and music. It's been very hard to get the audience to engage, and for of all, most of all, for me to engage with the audience. It's not easy when you're streaming, recording, also producing your show. I don't have anybody behind the scenes. It's all me. So, people do it. Maybe my ADHD isn't strong enough, or I just need some help. But for me to do this well, I had to create another show. For me to be able to reach out to people, communicate to the people, I had to be able to do another show to connect the dots and be able to talk to the people and let everybody know what we about here. Sharing entertainment news, sharing tech news, music news, of course, and any updates I have about the DJ world, I'm going to give you that as well. Hopefully, I can get to one of these DJ events. I tend to miss these DJ events because I'm always making sure I'm there for my family. So I'm always missing these big DJ events. But I'm going to get to one of these DJ events next year, and I'll probably stream live if I can and show y'all what it's about. Um, I like to nerd out on stuff like that on tech when it comes to electronics. I'm that guy. I was the guy with the boom box back in the day. So radio y'all roll. Ha ha. So y'all can check it out. When I get to that conference, when I post that, I'm gonna get to some of the DJ events and we can nut out some tech together. Um, Try out some stuff. I'll probably check out a Pioneer event, maybe a Sony event if they got one, and we can test out some tech, man. Shoot, eventually, hopefully I can become media and get to some of these events with a pass. That'd be nice. That'd be real cool. Um, Otherwise, in news, your boy Lenny Kravitz is out there still touring, still making that money. Um, he's still out here getting to that dough. Shout out to him. Shout out to his daughter with, what's her name? Oof. Well, Denise from the Cosby Show. We know who that is. Shout out to her and their daughter with and her daughter with Lenny Kravitz. Lenny Kravitz is out here touring, getting intimate and close with the fans, real close. Not like that, but close enough to where the fans were able to grab onto his locks and pull him, rip him out. You know how hard you got to pull to rip locks out of somebody's head? That's crazy. I hope he's okay. Hopefully he wasn't bleeding or anything like that. Didn't have any injury to himself, but who knows? Maybe the roots are still good, but oh my God, who knows what would possess somebody to pull on him? Like who would do such a thing? It's Lenny Kravitz, the icon, the legend. I don't know. I don't know. Like I'm glad he's still touring, making his money. I can't believe that he had that happen to him. He's not a young guy anymore, so hopefully he's okay. Um, he performed at the Roots picnic. I wish I went back in Philly, my hometown, back on June 1st for the Roots picnic. Shout out to the Roots picnic. I love the Roots picnic. Went there one time. Probably one of the best times, even though the lineups are always crazy and amazing. But I got to see a lot of people that I never would have seen before and people who were still kind of coming up. And then I got to see some legends. It was amazing. Who I saw Metro Boomin, saw Anderson Paak. That was probably my second time seeing Anderson Paak. Second City. Who else? There was so many people there. Swiss Beats was there. He did his own set. Then jumped to another stage and jumped on stage with DMX, which I really want. I couldn't believe that, y'all. Oh, I mean, I knew DMX was coming, but it was crazy how Swiss switched different stages and went on stage with DMX. DMX had so much energy. He did a great job. I was so happy I got to see him. That was amazing. And then Usher played with the Roots. Ah, that was a great show. Great show. And I got to see some legends because of that. And who would have knew that DMX would have left us right after that? Who would have knew? But anyway, speaking back to the legend talk, Lenny Kravitz got his hair pulled out by an overly enthusiastic fan, um, pulling out four of his dreadlocks. This was his show in Brisbane on Friday. That was yesterday, 2 days ago. And yeah, they pulled out four of them. I don't think he had to go to the hospital or anything, but uh, he did a video on his Instagram, so I think he's okay. But he took it like a gentleman, I guess. He said, "A very excited young lady pulled four dreadlocks out of the back of my head. You know how hard you got to pull to rip those out of my head? Damn, baby." I can't believe he said "damn, baby" on Instagram. That's cool. Man, Lenny Kravitz is so cool. Rock star, man, a real rock star. We don't give him enough credit. Fly Away is still classic. Can still bump right now. I want to get away. That was my jam, man. I'll still bump that song now. I don't care what y'all say. But yeah, I never listened to nothing else from Lenny Kravitz. I gotta say that. Unfortunately. But he's touring Australia. He was in Brisbane Friday, November 21st, and they pulled out four of his locks. I was like, oh no, not Lenny, not LK, not LK. That's wild. But he's good. He's okay. I think I don't know. It's just like imagine. I guess maybe they. I wonder if they held on to them and they'll take him home. Maybe she was like, "I need a piece of this man." Maybe she said that. Mm, who knows? Who knows? But shout out to Lenny Kravitz for being a gentleman, not being too upset. That had happened. He was just like, "Damn, baby." So shout out to him. Um, yeah, shout out to him. I don't know. I don't know what I would have done. God snatched out my hair, so I don't got nothing to worry about. But I couldn't imagine being on stage and the same thing happens. That is wild, wild. Um, man, shout out to them. Shout out Lenny Kravitz. Just a quick little story, quick little funny story I wanted to share. That's all that was. I thought that was interesting when I saw it. Kind of funny. So I pulled it up, shared it with y'all. Um, Apparently, he's not going to stop touring. He's not going to stop going out there to Brisbane. He's going to get his money. He must make good money there because he didn't have a negative word to say. Some people would have took that opportunity to bash their fans. He didn't have a negative word to say. So, like I said, that's a legend. That's a guy that can really lead the way and show you what it means to be a rock star and a legend. I don't know. Shout out to Lenny Kravitz. He did his thing. This is the Pree Talk. I appreciate y'all so much. I don't know if I'm gonna hit the. I'm gonna try to hit the hour mark. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I just wanted to give y'all those three stories real quick, even though it took an hour. I wanted to give y'all those three stories so y'all can see what's happening right now in the entertainment world. Um, yeah, a quick rundown. A quick rundown. Um, Pharrell. Who did I talk about? A quick one. Pharrell got a new shoe coming out. The Badge, the VAJ, the Virginia Added Star Jellyfish. He got that coming out. He's getting Shoe of the Year. I guess it came out. He's getting Shoe of the Year for that. He's 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 an icon legend. I talked about a few legends today. He's the icon legend, and he's getting Shoe of the Year from the FNAA for the veg shoe, the jellyfish. Um, yeah, the jellyfish, and then we talked about, of course, lastly, we talked about Lenny Kravitz, um, his overly enthusiastic fan pulling out four locks from his head. I can't believe that. Um, he's okay. He went on live on Instagram to tell everybody, all his fans, that he's okay. But don't worry. I know y'all might have been a little bit worried, but he's okay. Don't worry about him. And then last but not least, we also talked about Michael Jackson, MJ, the king of pop, undisputed king of pop, and how they're making a biopic on his life. This biopic is coming out in April, and I'm excited to see it. It's going to come out on my birthday. I'll probably go see it that day. That'll be a nice little present to myself. And yeah, I can't wait. I'm looking forward to it. I really can't. Uh, yeah, man. But yeah, that was the news for today. That is the pre-talk. I'm not hitting that hour, y'all. I can't do it, but I'm gonna do it next time. Don't worry. Check out my show, Reggae Sundays with DJ RJ, every single Sunday, today, 4 to 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, wherever you at. Just do the math. I can't do it for you, but sometimes I wish I could. We start a little late. Usually we start a little late. So hang in there with me. I'll go live real quick um, to start things off. And, hopefully 5 to 10 minutes, the show will get going and it'll be great. So check me out, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, DJ RJ Boston on YouTube, official DJ RJ on Twitch and Facebook. Check that out, DJ RJ. Yo, I'm out. Pre talk.